Pare com isso. Limpe seu quarto. Ligue para sua avó. Assine aqui, por favor. Sorria! What do all of these have in common? They're all commands. Did they seem strange to you? Did it feel weird to hear ligue? Shouldn't it be liga? Você liga? Shouldn't it be para com isso? Você para? No. Let's talk about why. So, I want to preface this entire video by letting you know that yes, sometimes you're going to hear people not conjugate into this command imperative form. Sometimes you will hear people say para com isso or fala comigo, but I want to teach you guys what the correct way to form the imperative is. Also, I need to say that depending on what the region is, like if you're in Portugal where they use to a lot, the imperative form takes on the second person simple present form for você. Okay, so para com isso, if you're referring to tu para com isso. That is correct. But if you're using você, which in Brazil, a lot of the states, at least in Rio where I'm around the most, we mostly use você. So I'm gonna focus this video on teaching you guys how to form the imperatives of você. Now, that being said, first let's talk about some regular verbs and how they're conjugated, and then we're gonna talk about irregular verbs because there's plenty of those and they're really important verbs that you need to know. So we'll go over those at the end. So for your regular AR verbs, it's pretty simple. You just drop the AR ending, and then instead of adding an A to the end, you're gonna add an E. So in the examples I gave at the beginning, parar becomes pare. So instead of para com isso, becomes pare com isso. Limpar, instead of being limpa seu quarto, it becomes limpe seu quarto. Assinar becomes assine. Assine aqui. And ligar is a little bit of an irregular one. It still becomes ligue. Ligue para sua avó. But you're going to change the spelling. So because it's a G, if you put just GE, it would be lige. Lige. So we want to keep the sound ligue. So you need to add a U. L-I-G-U-E. Ligue. Now, for an ER and IR verbs, you're doing the same thing. You're cutting off the endings and you're adding an A to the end. So, comer becomes coma. Coma. Beber becomes beba. Vender becomes venda. You see? And with IR verbs, it's the same thing. Partir becomes parta. Abrir becomes abra. And dividir becomes divida. Now let's talk about some of the more irregular verbs. So first, let's take the one from the example. Sorrir. Sorrir. Smile. So instead of it being sorri, it's going to become sorria. Sorria. So you're adding an A, but you're keeping the I. That's the difference there. So it's not sorra. Sorri doesn't become sorra, it becomes sorria. Sorria. Dormir, to sleep. Dormir becomes durma. Durma. D-U-R-M-A. So you're still keeping the same ending, but you had to change the O to a U. Fazer. Fazer is a very important irregular verb. So with fazer, you're going to drop the Z-E-R. So you just keep the F-A, and then instead of the Z, you're going to put the C with the little hook or tail underneath. It's called a cedilla. And you're going to make an A after that. So instead of it being faza, it's going to be faça. Faça seu trabalho. Do your work. Ir. Ir is an irregular verb, which means to go. Again, very common. So você vai is how you would say you go. If you want to make it imperative, you're telling somebody to go, or maybe you're at a sports event and you're like, go team, it becomes va with an accent mark over the A. V-A accent mark. Va. Saber. Saber means to know. in the imperative form, it becomes saiba. So sabe becomes saiba. S-A-I-B-A. Saiba. Saiba mais. No more. Saiba mais. Ter. Ter means to have. Você tem means you have. In the imperative, it becomes tenha. Tenha. Tenha ótimo dia. Have a great day. Ver. Ver means to see, and it becomes veja. Veja. Ser means to be in the more permanent sense. To be. Ser becomes seja. Seja feliz. Seja bem. Be happy. Be well. Estar also means to be, but in a more temporary or changing way. And this becomes esteja. So you have seja and esteja instead of você é and você está. Seja and esteja. And the last thing I want to mention about these imperatives is that you don't include the subject pronoun. It's understood or imaginary, just the same way it is in English. You're not going to say like, oh, you go. You're going to say go, go. Or you're not going to say, you speak to me. You're going to say, speak to me. So same thing in Portuguese. You're not going to use você or any of the other pronouns if you're conjugating differently. So I really hope that this was helpful. Please let me know down below if you have any questions, what you thought of this video, if you have any suggestions for other videos. I really love to hear from you guys. Please don't forget to give it a like if you did like it and find it helpful, and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that way you don't miss other language tips and culture tips in Brazilian Portuguese and English. And guys, I will talk with you soon. Até mais. Tchau, tchau.